insurance,
supply chain,
banking industry,
banking,
healthcare,
easy,
simplicity,
performance,
references,
single point of contact,
cross-brand,
great support,
teamwork, collaboration,
IBM Storage Fusion.
IBM Storage Fusion.
IBM Storage Fusion.
Hi, Cristina. Hi, Poncho.
Hi.
Hi, Serena.
It seems in Europe and across the ocean, we were successful in selling Fusion. My two deals were on a banking customer and an insurance one. What about yours?
Well, in my case, Serena was in the food industry and supply chain.
For me, it was a banking industry called Index.
Okay, so
That's
different industries, definitely, but
Yes.
probably we all sold HCI, isn't it?
Yes, in my case, it was a Metro DR architecture with two fusions HCI. Yeah. What about you, Alfonso?
Yeah, for me too. It was two HCI solutions, one for development and one for production.
Okay, so it seems we are aligned on this, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so let me share a little bit my case, and then I'm really eager to learn about your. So I actually had two wins, and the first one was the very first deal in the banking customer. This was part of a larger IBM contract that were aimed to, let's say, address current IT infrastructure and also new project, because the bank was willing to really transform digitally its way of working. The OCP deployment, because they already have OCP in place, is totally on VMware infrastructure. So here, the tough point was to have the sponsor to agree that it was worth to explore a bare metal solution. And one point on top of the resource consumption, the extra money that you have to spend on the hypervisor, was also to overcome the potential lock-in from VMware after the Broadcom acquisition. So, Cristina, what about you?
Well, in my case, my customer had very clear he wanted a bare metal running solution, OpenShift running over bare metal directly. So they already work with OpenShift, but with x86 servers. So I just explained them the solution and the simplicity of deployment. And of course, there is a bare metal based solution. And the customer fastly went to the idea they wanted IBM storage solution. So it was quite easier than yours in that part of the deal. Yeah. Yes. I don't know.
Poncho.
What about yours, Poncho?
For me, it was a little more difficult. The client used to have a current solution running on x80 Intel servers with open tools running on VMware. The Red Hat was pushing a lot this solution because the client used to have it in VMware. We have almost 1 year selling process. The bare metal was a key point in order to have better performance and a lower price. So we did a POC, a POT, and development meeting with the worldwide team in order to have this to be sold.
Okay. So. Well, in my case, let me add one more thing that was very important to this success in Spain. That was the customer, from the point of view of infrastructure, they did need some high availability mechanisms. with infrastructure. And as I explained them, the Metro DR feature, that was very important to sell two appliances instead of one. And then the other point that I would like to highlight is that the customer saw as a very valuable point that with Fusion HCI, we as IBM have a single support point for all the components the solution itself have. That's very important in my case too.
Yeah. And this point was part of my discussion for the second year. So the insurance company, they really had, as we say in IBM, reason to act, because they were running a non-containerized version of some Cloud Pak for integration services, but they were reaching end of support, and they had to migrate to OCP-based infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking to HPE servers. And they said, oh, but your Fusion seems very expensive. So we worked really also with the business partner to explain that this was not a total cost of acquisition discussion, but more total cost of ownership discussion.
Yeah, TCO is key.
Yeah, definitely. So it's not only hardware cost that you should consider, but also, as you were saying, Cristina, the management single point of contact and the speed of deploy, because the customer is really, really running out of time to do this migration. So it really needs this infrastructure up and running very fast.
It's a key, Serena. The timeline in order to have this on production is key for the client.
Yes.
So we need to appoint that in all the customers in order to have a better implementation, a better deployment just in time.
Yeah, I think customer are, let's say, not really willing, accept to pay more if they, let's say, have something exchange. When you are in a hurry, you pay. Unfortunately, this is, I think, also our experience in the life. So
yes, and another important thing is that we as IBM have the control of supply of the entire solution. And if the customer needs to wait for IBM storage and other vendors' hardware or servers to start working with containers, they cannot really manage the timing of deployment.
The schedule.
But with Fusion, with Fusion, in the case of Consume, that was my customer, that the full industry, they saw that very valuable too, like to have the control of timing too, of when are they installing, when are they deploying, and when is the delivery going to be. That's very, very important.
And maybe one point about this second case for me was question. Customer said, am I the first in the world to use this Fusion box? We love this question.
Because it's a new product.
I used to, Serena, I said, I have a colleague in Italy that she did the same project that we are doing here in Spain.
Yeah, I did not deny that they were, let's say, among the first to adopt. But they could be a rising star. Let's say they can be leading edge, and let's say that we really discuss about how this solution is key for our brand, for IBM, as all the OpenShift related solution are, and for the storage brand, this is really something key.
We come around about that with the client, telling them, because they also say, I don't like it to be the first one. I don't like to be. What are your other use cases over the world? And we discussed that about IBM is going to be with them. Okay, it was sold by a business partner, but IBM is going to be with you. Okay, we are going to help you. And the client also said, okay, let me be successful with this implementation. And after that, I could be a customer reference.
Same in my case.
Same for me, really. And it's funny because when we signed the contract in Italy and then the boxes were shipped, we managed to create a meeting with the customer, and not by purpose. In the same week, we had the worldwide team coming to Italy to meet the customer to confirm our commitment for their success. And also we had the delivery team installing the Fusion. So it was really, I think, demonstration of IBM commitment to the customer. I think it was really good.
That sounds great, because that was my idea of a successful deployment project. But in my case, the customer is still making us wait for the IPs and to start the installation. So it's very funny because I explained them the involvement of a worldwide team from both Cloud Pak for Data, because in my case, they want to run Cloud Pak for Data over the Fusions, also Fusions development teams. But now is the customer who is making us wait to start the deployment. So I'm so happy for you, Serena, that you could mix and stay all together in Italy, because here in Spain the customer is so lovely. But I'm happy to see that you have explored that before me.
Yeah, definitely. So
yes, I don't know. And just one question, guys, how did you start the conversation about Fusion in your customers? Because that is important. When and how to start the conversation about this technology in customers?
Serena, go ahead, or
you go, Poncho.
Okay. Well, the main trouble that the client have is when the development people arrive to the technical guys, asking for more servers, more storage, and having a huge development because they already have more than 300 containers already on house. And they were asking for several new equipment, and the management of that equipment was very hard. So the client was asking about having a better solution in place. So we were already the client was already an IBM client with a DS8000, flash equipment, power servers. So we hear about that implementation, and we begin to talk about Spectrum Fusion facilities and easy of the deployment.
What about your case, Serena?
It was a little different between the two customers. For the first one, we knew that IBM was working on a big contract, and so we made a couple of meetings to, let's say, to tell the customer about the new offering we had. And we knew that they were a Red Hat customer as well. So it was really like, hey guys, we know you have Red Hat, you run some containerized environment. Let us show what we have new in our offering. And starting from there, it was really the customer that drive the engagement. While for the other customer, it was an IBM, let's say, joint effort, meaning the customer success manager, the technology seller, and the account technical leader, they were already working on the project for the containerized version migration of the Cloud Pak for integration. And they were aware of Fusion, but not too much. And they said, hey guys, do you want to jump into this discussion? And so here it was more like come in, join the team, and let's see what we can do together for this customer. So
Both cases are so interesting. In my case, we knew that the customer were running OpenShift, but from IBM, as we are always thinking about closing deals, sometimes exploring new areas is quite difficult because we have a lot of customers, a lot of deals, and we don't think about new workloads. But in our case, the channel was the one that prepared and organized a training session about new portfolio areas. And we started with the customer talking about new workloads and Fusion, several copies, also storage as a service. And it was because the business partner was aware about the needs in this customer, why this deal started and was closed last year. So I think here the channel is very important too, because we can go to more customers if the channel is also trained and they know the portfolio. I think it's very key point in other customers.
Yes. I have been working several time with several business partners to train them, to say, to give them tools in order to find new projects. We need to work with that a lot. Okay?
Yeah, and don't you think they see Fusion as a very interesting product in the storage portfolio? Because here in Spain, once they have one reference, and it's what exactly Serena said, anyone wants to be the first one. But now that we have a physical machine and device here in Spain, they are all wanted to know more about Fusion, more about how to sell it, and I think this is a very good new area that we can explore with them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that references or informal references, when still to be signed by the customer, are really helpful also internally and for the IBM team and the ecosystem team to provide more confidence about the products.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you guys, do you have already new deals that you are working on?
Yes.
And applying what we already learned.
yes, but don't you think every project is completely different than the previous one? Because, for example, now I'm working in two Fusion deals in healthcare industry. Trying to healthcare, very interesting, because they're planning to deploy a data lake with Cloud Platform data, and they also need servers, they need storage, and that is a use case that I didn't had on my mind last year, but I do this one, and as I feel very confident now, because I said, well, if I did that once, I can do it in a second round. But yes, I'm managing especially healthcare industry deals now.
Okay, so Cristina, you are la reina del Cloud Pack for data.
That is gonna get crazy with me. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I think it's very useful to get Cloud Pack for data teams involved in many projects, because every customer that has or that already have Cloud Pack for data, they are target to explain at least a Fusion, and I see a very large number of customers that do not have IBM infrastructure, but they do have Cloud Packs, and we can start having conversation with
we can save a lot of money to the client with Cloud Packs, because if a client want to have more than one Cloud Pack, for example, for data, for system, they need a separate hardware. Okay. But with Spectrum Fusion, they can have it in just one HCI, for example.
Yeah.
By leveraging the project. So
exactly. In Mexico, we have something called Escuelita, something like a little school. I gave the chat about the Spectrum Fusion, and several people from CloudPack reached me about, I need to know more. What are you talking about? So CloudPack could run there. How? Tell me more.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear for CloudPack for data teams, because we are trying to explain them, the clients here in Spain. It's very simple, because they just need to know the consumption of the applications. Then we as infrastructure can think about other consumptions about of the workers, masters, scale, and they just have to be worried about the sizing of the CloudPack, and then they can forget about any other hardware resources with Fusion and with our support. I think it's very important.
Fusion makes also CloudPack for data people life easier. Let's say that.
A lot easier.
That's true. Yes, that's true. And what about your case, Serena? We didn't. I don't know if you explained us if you are in new projects with Fusion in Italy.
Yes, some CloudPack for data opportunities. Finally, me too.
Yes.
And we are also exploring another project with the insurance customer. So he said, hey, I have a new CloudPack for security project. By the way, can Fusion be a good option? And we say, yes, customer, you're right. Let's work on this.
Great. Well, that sounds so interesting. So please share with us if it finally goes out. Yes. And I don't know, guys, do you want to share something else about your deals or your experience with CloudPack for data, with Fusion HCI? Sorry.
Well, I'm very excited with the roadmap of the Spectrum Fusion also. The power option that is going to be in maybe this year. Yeah, and the Linux one and the C option. For the clients, it's going to be several options to choose. And also the new one, Rockless, with 3 nodes, is going to be very good for another type of clients that we can all reach now.
Yeah. We have a whole flavor of options I think we can leverage.
Yeah.
So.
And I think this strong roadmap is like we are in the good point of the company, aligned with the strategy, and I think we have a really good chance to go to new customers that we are not now. So I think that's important for every star seller right now.
So a lot of work for all of us, definitely.
Yeah. Well, guys. Thank you very much for your.
Thank you. And keep in touch, of course.
Of course. Yeah. And good luck with the installation and deployment, Serena.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
IBM Storage Fusion.
IBM Storage Fusion.
IBM Storage Fusion.